forecast first from KARK4, your weather authority.
The parts of northern Pulaski County and in northern Lonoke County got a pretty good downpour as our main upper level low is still moving through northern parts of the state. So north central and northern Arkansas still looking at a few thunderstorms this evening, and then things will be clearing out by 10 o'clock tonight. In Little Rock on your forecast first, a 20% chance of shower or thunderstorm the next few hours. 83 degrees at 7 o'clock. By midnight, 75 and mostly cloudy. And a cloudy start to your Tuesday at 73. Your KRK News at 5 starts right now.
A city divided.
If we don't do what she wants done, then she vetoes everything.
What Alexander aldermen are doing to take a stand against the mayor. The trial begins for a former Little Rock police officer charged with manslaughter. Tonight, an update from the courtroom. Plus,
the speed limit is supposed to be 30.
One of the busiest areas in Little Rock, not just dealing with traffic. What police are doing to crack down on speeders.
Now, from the station you count on for local news that matters. This is KARK4 News at 5.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Clausen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Dean. A fire at a health clinic kept North Little Rock crews busy early this afternoon. Firefighters called to the Baptist Health Clinic on Broadway around 1. You can see right there the smoke, flames coming from that building. No word on any injuries or what might have started that fire.
3 aldermen and a mayor for a small Arkansas town just outside of Little Rock divided on major issues. KARK4's Jocelyn Tovar says the aldermen are going about solving their complaints in a rather unique way. How is that, Jocelyn?
Simply by not showing up to their meetings, Bob, the next of which takes place tonight at 6 o'clock, and they need a quorum of at least 5 aldermen in order to take care of city business.
Doors to the council chambers in Alexander are locked, but they'll be open this evening for the monthly council meeting. Not everyone, however, will walk through them.
Something needs to be corrected. Our city has been in a mess for about the last 30 years.
Juanita Wilson is the alderman for Ward 2. She's asking Mayor Michelle Hobbs for more transparency in hiring practices and has yet to get the documents and records she's requested despite filing a Freedom of Information Act.
I see it as a push and shove type thing. If we don't do what she wants done, then she vetoes everything.
Why she and 2 other aldermen are protesting the practices by no longer attending council meetings. The mayor and city attorney denied a request for an on-camera interview, but the 2 say they'd like to sit down with the aldermen and iron out the differences. Are y'all interested in doing that?
I can see that happening because Mayor Michelle Hobbs hired the city attorney.
I think they should go to the meeting and have a meaningful dialogue to resolve whatever issues there may be.
Those we reached out to in the tight-knit Alexander community were afraid to speak out on these problems. As an outsider, Billy Lofton says he's glad his council doesn't behave in this way.
I don't like drama, and I think that everything can be worked out at the table.
Mayor Hobbs told KARK by phone she also feels this sit-out simply a dramatic gesture.
Now, we spoke to the 3 aldermen who have been boycotting these meetings. 2 said they for sure will not be at tonight's meeting. 1 said he was on the fence, so we're just going to have to wait and see how this all plays out. We'll, of course, keep you updated on KARK4 News at 10.
And city business hangs in the balance. All right, Jocelyn, thanks very much.
A murder trial underway, and that suspect already admits to pulling the trigger because he says he believed the victim had molested his 5-year-old daughter. Today, jury selection in the trial of Andrew James Cody, charged last year with first-degree murder for the death of 65-year-old Lee Britton. According to deputies, Cody told them he waited for Britton in Britton's home in the Pope County town of London, then shot Britton once in the head. Supporters have backed Cody, calling his efforts to protect his daughter heroic. No bond today for the Taekwondo instructor charged with sexually assaulting one of his male students. William Cossey appeared in Lonoke County Circuit Court today. Cossey is the owner and instructor at the Emerald Dragon Studio in Cabot. He was arrested in May on these charges. In September of 2012, he was arrested on 2 counts of sexual assault of another underage male student at Emerald Dragon.
Deputies searching for a woman missing from a Hot Spring County this weekend. That's Hot Spring County campground. Authorities need your help finding this woman, Deborah Cron. Investigators say that she walked away from the cattle camping area on Saturday. There's her picture. Officials are concerned because she is mentally disabled as well as diabetic, and she may not have been taking her medication. If you have any information on where she may be or you think you may have seen this lady, you're being asked to contact your local authorities as well as the Hot Springs Sheriff's Office. Jury selection underway in the manslaughter trial of a former Little Rock police officer. 27-year-old Josh Hastings is accused of not following police protocol when he shot and killed 15-year-old Bobby Moore. KARK4's David Goins live at the Pulaski County Courthouse where lawyers are working to seat a jury. Hey, David.
Hey there, Bob. This is really a first-of-its-kind trial in Little Rock. Never has an officer been put on trial for actions he or she took while in the line of duty in uniform. That's exactly what's happening here. Now, Josh Hastings, 27 years old, was fired by the department back in September by Police Chief Stuart Thomas. Stuart Thomas found at that time that Hastings' account of what happened in the early morning hours of August 12th differed from evidence found at the scene. Hastings was responding to a burglary in progress at a West Little Rock apartment complex. He found 15-year-old Bobby Moore and two of his friends breaking into cars at that complex. Now, Hastings contends at that time that the car Moore was driving sped towards him and he fired in self-defense. However, witness testimony and evidence from the scene disputes that claim. Hastings was fired and now faces that manslaughter charge. As far as jury selection this afternoon, it got underway around 2:30. Over 30 jurors stood up when Judge Wendell Griffin asked them if they had heard or read about the case, but only a handful were dismissed for forming an opinion. That jury selection continues as we speak. The trial is expected to get underway with opening statements tomorrow morning. Live in Little Rock, David Goins, KARK4 News.
All right, David, thanks very much.
The Department of Community Correction under fire tonight. A state senator and Little Rock's mayor criticizing the agency after a murder they said could have been prevented. 18-year-old Forrest Abrams' body was found dumped on a road in Little Rock. And as KARK4's Drew Petronro found out, the man accused of killing him has a lengthy criminal record. Drew?
Well, Jessica, friends and family members describe Forrest Abrams as a kind person and person who is just extremely caring, person they still can't believe is gone. Investigators say Abrams was murdered early in the morning on May 10th after he was kidnapped at a Little Rock gas station. The man accused is 47-year-old Daryl Dennis, a man with a long rap sheet who was released from jail just 2 days before the murder. Documents show on April 3rd of this year, after Dennis was picked up on the latest of a slew of arrests, a parole officer warned supervisors that he'd been failing to report and that a hearing needed to be held to determine whether his bond should be revoked. But Dennis was released before that hearing could be held. He was arrested again a week and a half later for failing to visit his parole officer. On May 9th, Dennis was released yet again without a parole hearing after he told a parole officer he realized he needed to do better.
That this is a pathological repeat criminal who knows how to game the system, and unfortunately he had some willing accomplices in the Department of Community Correction that allowed him to game the system.
Now, a Department of Community Corrections spokeswoman Rhonda Sharp defended the handling of Daryl Dennis today, saying department officials had pushed for hearings in front of that parole board. Asked why DCC approved allowing Dennis to get out of jail 2 days before the murder happened, the spokeswoman pointed out that he still had not been convicted since he was released from prison. Guys?
All right, Drew, thank you very much. Deputies arrested a man after they say he failed to register as a sex offender. Garland County deputies say 44-year-old Daniel Overholzer was arrested after moving from an approved residence without providing the required 10-day notice. Overholzer's family had reported him missing in early May, but canceled that report after his stepmother saw him at a fast food restaurant. He is being held in a $2,500 bond. New technology helping police crack down on speeders. Police are targeting one particular part of town to try to make it safer.
Plus,
now that I'm back with my family, I'm happy.
Families reconnected after challenges kept them apart. We'll check in with them.
And it's definitely been a humid day with some of that humidity leading to some of these thunderstorms we've been having this afternoon. We'll be still watching those coming up. But hey, at least it was below normal today. 85 the high in Little Rock, normal high 89. But don't worry, if you want to get above normal, we will in your 7-day forecast coming up.
This is KARK4 News at 5 in high definition with Bob Clausen, Jessica Dean, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.
Coming up, firefighters in Northwest Arkansas putting their tracking skills to the test. See the specialty rescue training they're getting to help them during disasters.
Then new tonight on KARK4 News at 6.
Why should I have to pay for garbage to pick up when I've got my own dumpster?
The local waste management district kicking around a curbside recycling plan, but the people involved not all willing to participate. why they believe the plan is overstepping boundaries. New tonight on KARK 4 News at 6.
It's KARK 4 News at 5 in high definition.
Fair Park is one of the busiest thoroughfares here in Little Rock. It's also the section of the city where neighbors and police say drivers like to step on it and speed on through.
As KARK 4's Dustin Barnes explains, police believe the right technology is on the way to make that area safer by cracking down on speeders.
Hovering trees and diverse neighbors, Valerie Waits says those are just a few of the reasons that drew her to move into this part of Little Rock. In Little Rock, Dustin Barnes, KARK 4 News.
That radar trailer will be placed in Fair Park sometime this week. Police have not selected the site for it just yet.
More construction detours happening right now on Interstate 630. Crews will perform minor repairs to the Fair Park Boulevard overpass, so the eastbound lane will be closed between John Barrow Road and Fair Park Boulevard. That closure will begin Wednesday at 9 in the morning, so be sure to use an alternate route if it's available to you.
Specialty rescue training is underway as firefighters from Northwest Arkansas put their tracking skills to the test. The Technical Search and Rescue Task Force is a special group of highly trained firefighters, and for the past few weeks they've gone through training with high-tech devices to help them cut search time down should a disaster happen in our area. They've created mock scenarios using chainsaw, jackhammers, and blowtorches to complete their missions.
Those instances that we may find ourselves in when it matters, that puts us in contact with that victim that's, somewhere under the pile.
Firefighters from Fayetteville, Springdale, and Rogers are taking part in this. Training will finish up this afternoon, or at least it has finished up this afternoon. Reunited and feeling so good. Arkansas families reconnect after challenges kept them apart.
We'll take you to what's known as Reunification Day. That's coming up after the break. There was plenty to celebrate today at the Museum of Discovery. Families reconnecting for Reunification Month. That event hosted by the Department of Human Services, and it places kids in foster care back with their birth families. DHS representatives say the families have overcome an array of challenges to get back together.
It's good to be back home. I'm glad I'm with my family again because it was hard going through that, but now that I'm back with my family, I'm happy.
I'm not going to lie to you. There were some days I thought, what have I done? I had come from being retired and it just being me and my dog to having 2 teenage kids.
That can be an adjustment. According to DHS, thousands of children are successfully reunited with their families every year. In Arkansas, 42% of children in foster care are reunited with their immediate families. Another 35% of them are placed with a relative.
Rainy weather put a damper on the first day of events at the Northwest Arkansas Championship. Wet weather cut short today's Pro-Am, first tee fundraiser, but tournament chairman Jay Allen says the weather is expected to clear up before tournament play starts this weekend. However, with expected temperatures in the 90s, staff is working very hard to make sure that everyone out there stays as cool as possible. The bleachers are all covered for the first time, and shade stations are set up around the course, which is very nice. Spectators will also get free cooling towels, and the price of bottled water, this is a plus, been dropped down to $1.
Probably single biggest priority this year is to really improve the on-the-course experience for spectators.
Professional golfers also spent the day taking in the course before the tournament starts, and a qualifier for the final 2 spots went on as normal.
More rain headed our way this week. Pat's going to let us know when it might be in your backyard.
Evening, everybody. Coming up tonight, a new treatment for women with breast cancer. This one is showing some real results. We'll have the complete story for you here tonight.